Welcome back, all you good people out there. Today we're going to be talking about the largest location you can currently access in StarRupture, the Forgotten Engine. This is my second favorite location so far. Hopefully my next long video will be on my primary, but let's get started. As you enter the engine through one of the broken exhaust vents, you'll find a body by the door at the base. As you approach it, there's an audio comm device that tells what happened to this soul.
I can't help you right now, just wait.
I bet
The battery. The first step in opening that door.
batteries come loose.
Jimmy, all systems are going haywire and you're not the licensed electrician. Just wait and don't touch anything.
Hey, it's fine. It has to be the battery.
Luckily, we're more technically proficient than poor Jimmy was. You can open this door using 10 energy cells, each of which are made with 10 chemicals and 10 electronics. That's the only thing that you have to do to get access to the Forgotten Engine. As you enter the facility, you'll see an escape pod, or a sort of horizontal elevator. There's a main level access card inside this elevator. Pick up the card, and then make your way into the Forgotten Engine proper. After a short journey, you'll find yourself next to some regeneration pods with another audio device.
Simon, I can't. We've got procedures. Please, please, please. I can't escape without her. Here's the disc. Just click the stuff. What? Where'd you get that? Man, take it back to the storeroom. I need to report this. Report it? Did you see what's going on out there? Who do you want to report this to? Print me one sleeve. One. No, Simon, I can't. Fine, you don't want to help me, I'll print it myself. Stop! You don't know what to press. Those parameters are wrong. Shut up! Let go of that! What did you do? Oh shit. I think I'm gonna be sick. Kill it! No, I can't!
As you know, at this point, bodies can be regenerated, and they're known as sleeves. So long as your disc survives, you can just regrow a body. But it seems like using the wrong parameters created some sort of mutated monster. At first I thought this was the introduction to a new enemy, or even how the vermin originated, but I believe this was just a one-off. We make our way over to a computer that welcomes staff to the facility. It names logistic officers, chemists, technicians, biologists, and security supervisors. This Forgotten Engine is being operated and run by the IRO. There's another message on this computer from Thomas King to the Cloning Center asking for a new body with larger muscles. The message concludes with him being sent to deep storage for using over 19 sleeves in only a month. Deep storage being a location used for personnel that are found to be unnecessary for the mission.
We're entering IRO territory.
Do we know why it's not working?
I bet they ran out of money. It's always about money with things like this.
You hit the nail right on the head. It turns out, terraforming a planet in an alien galaxy is not the best investment.
Who would have thought?
That money could have been put to better use.
What are you all talking about? The creation of another habitable planet should be the priority for any species. The IRO made a big mistake closing this project down.
You now have a chance to find out why the project is kept a secret.
As we make our way to the engine room to restart the Forgotten Engine, we're told by our robotic assistant that this project was shut down due to a lack of funding, but I'm not sure that rings true.
Open this! Close the entrance immediately! It's not working! Kill it! They can't get inside!
Planetary temperature within acceptable parameters.
Blow it up! Blow it up!
They must have blocked the entrance themselves. They condemned themselves to death.
Here we find a voice memo of what must have been the final line of security before the vermin made it to the main entrance. After the blocked entrance, we find another memo pad, which has a discussion between two personnel about boxes that are blocking the hallway. The next computer details that they're on day mission 395, and says that on day 421 there will be another surface expedition to find supplies and do research. As we continue exploring this level, we begin finding vermin spores, but so far none of the bugs themselves. Just past the first cluster of spores, there's a computer that details several atmospheric tests that were conducted aboard the Forgotten Engine. As we continue making our way to the engine room, the next significant location we encounter is the office of Dr. Isabella Santos, which we know from the personnel email that she is the chief biologist for this mission. We dig into her emails, and we come across some interesting information. They were experimenting with the plant that grows on this planet known as Soulheart. Apparently, after they used the Forgotten Engine to remove radiation from an area, the Soulheart stopped growing in radiated areas and started growing instead in sulfur clouds. It had a very quick response time to adapting to its environment. They were trying to figure out how the Soulheart would react to an unknown substance called XKCD-6, unknown in the sense that it was classified at the time. In one email, Chief Logistics Officer Aiden Patel complains that Santos' research is not progressing quickly enough. In order to speed up her research, she sends everything she knows about XKCD-6 to all bio-research personnel. This is considered an act of corporate espionage, and she is after that demoted by Aiden Patel. She's told to continue her research, but she cannot take any actions without his direct permission. We continue our journey and almost immediately come across another audio recording device in the hallway right outside of Dr. Santos' office.
Since I'm already talking to myself, I might as well record it. Maybe someone will find this useful. How could the IRO let this happen? This mission was one of its top priority projects. I don't believe the government could be this incompetent. Something must have gone wrong. Someone else is to blame. I don't trust that logistician. He was always up to something behind our backs. I don't believe the IRO would leave us here to die. Only emergency lighting is on. That's good. Means they've turned off most of the power. According to Dr. Vaughn, those monsters are drawn to electricity and use it to reproduce. Cutting them off from it should slow them down. They're close. I'll try to get to the lab at the other end of the hallway.
We can't be sure who was speaking in this tape, but she states that the IRO couldn't possibly have just left them there to die. She blames it on someone else, possibly the logistician Aiden Patel, who's heading up this mission. We continue making our way forward, and we find the doors to the main engine room closed, with a body that was caught between them, and next to this body another key card that matches another level of the facility.
We have no choice. We need to turn the power back on. We need to find the generator.
From what I know, the backup generator is down on the logistics level.
Now we need to get there. It's 2 levels below us.
We need to get to the generators that power this part of the station. They're down in the logistics level. On our way, we encounter another email that says the control room was cut off to prevent vermin from accessing it. Personnel are also warned that when this machine starts shutting down, it will only clear radiation from an area of about 5 kilometers around it. Anyone farther out than that needs to start falling back into this area.
Main disk storage. They kept everyone's disks here.
Were they all...
I don't know if all of them were, but the vermin certainly got in here.
Oh, God.
No use in crying. We need to search this place.
You're heartless.
Give it a rest. Had they been useful, they wouldn't have ended up in here.
Cut it out. The victims deserve our respect.
On our way to the power generator, we encounter a sobering scene. All the personnel that had been stored inside disks have been killed by the vermin. This is known as a true death when both your sleeve and disk is destroyed. It also indicates the level of intelligence amongst the vermin if they targeted this location. On the desk in this room, we find a letter from the husband of one of these personnel, stating that they miss her very much and can't wait for her to come home soon. With nothing left to do in this room, we continue moving. The next room we encounter on this floor is a laboratory. On one of these computers, we find more emails from researcher Santos. She discusses the atmospheric changes after turning on the engine under different prototypes A, B, and C, and she also mentions that they found highly concentrated levels of alkaline in the air that allow them to generate electricity from the atmosphere itself. In the attached room, we find yet more notes from Dr. Isabella Santos discussing local flora that they found in the area, and mentioning that now they have oxygen scrubbers working at full capacity, which make it possible to move around the Forgotten Engine without the aid of oxygen masks. As a somewhat concerning side note, she mentions that they're using unknown substance XKCD6 as a synthesizer inside the air filters.
I don't understand these results. According to the calculations, the atmosphere should have attained optimal composition by now. But the changes are too drastic. I don't understand what I did wrong.
This is only the first stage of terraforming. We need to gather more data.
Will that really help? The theoretical models worked. But in practice, we don't really understand Ruptura's influence on the atmosphere. There are too many variables, too many unknowns. My assumptions were too optimistic.
You can still fix this. We'll run additional experiments.
How long will that take? Several years? Dozens? We shouldn't have sent the mission so quickly. We weren't ready. I was naive. I thought I understood this planet.
There's still a chance to fix this. Let's try the method with hydrolysis, like I was saying before.
What's this? Are you recording this?
It seems the scientists are having some trouble with the terraforming of this world. They aren't sure what's going wrong in their calculations, but it's just not responding the way they anticipate.
Gal, why are we even here? What will the Forgotten Engine do once we turn it on?
The Forgotten Engine served as terraforming machines. Each one was built for a different task. I have an inclination what this one was for, but due to the lack of information, I don't want to get your hopes up. If I did, and you fail, the failure would impact your mental well-being more negatively, and the quality of your services might suffer.
We enter logistics and continue prowling for the generator to turn the power back on. It seems like the vermin infestation is much thicker in this area. After popping some spores, we see the first vermin that we've encountered on this ship. Hopefully this isn't a sign of things to come. I retreat upstairs to quickly listen to an audio comm that I missed on the way down.
Peter! Do you copy? Peter! Fuck, it's closed. Are you still there? Answer me! I tried to come as soon as I got your message, but the generator went down. Peter, answer me! Peter! I hope your audio comm just broke. Hang in there. I'm going to -2. Maybe I can turn the generator back on manually. Fuck.
It seems as though Scotty tried to turn the generator on himself and didn't quite make it. We find another data pad that tells us something interesting. It says the intruders, the vermin, have taken over level 0 and level +1 nearly entirely, but also that they seem to be infecting strategic points to maintain control of the facility. Again, an instance of the vermin acting in an intelligent manner. We continue making our way down the halls towards the generator. It seems like indeed the vermin have infested nearly every square foot of this entire section. Even behind closed doors, there's packs of them waiting in ambush.
This is terrible.
Their attacks seem timed, almost tactical. I fight through the first wave and make my way back to the conference room where there's an audio device.
I'm letting you know this conversation is being recorded.
Like every other conversation in this place.
I'm letting you know this conversation is being recorded. Aiden Patel, head logistician. This is an official reprimand for the engineer present here, Luca Costa. Mr. Costa, based on your previous behavior and numerous warnings, I am unfortunately forced to fine you and suspend you from your responsibilities indefinitely.
Aiden, come on.
The regulations leave me no choice. I would also prefer to be addressed formally.
You can't suspend me. I'm not going into a drawer for God knows how long.
As the leader of this mission and an IRO representative, I am well within my rights, in accordance with regulations, more specifically paragraph...
Stop with those regulations. I mean, okay, give me the fine, but for God's sake, don't suspend me.
Mr. Costa, I have already warned you more than once. I also have reason to believe that you are in contact with parties directly threatening the interests of not only the mission, but the entire IRO.
Nothing like that ever happened.
I have a list of your emails here. You contacted a certain William Claywood, wanted for...
What? You have no right.
According to the regulations that apply to you as well, in the case of justified suspicions, I have the right to access correspondence of my subordinates.
And what the fuck was I supposed to do? Wait for us all to die of starvation? You already put people into drawers, and yet we still have no supplies. I did it for all of us.
I am revoking your access to a body, as your role is not considered essential to the mission. You have time until tomorrow. Please report to the disk storeroom at 1200 mission time in order for the procedure to be performed.
Aiden, you're kidding, right? Don't do this to me, come on!
You can file a complaint to any IRO space outpost.
When and how would I do that?
In this recording, the mission leader, Aiden Patel, was rebuking the engineer, Luca Costa, for several infractions. One of them was trying to contact a rival to the IRO organization, William Clayton. Luca protests that he was only trying to get food for the mission. Nonetheless, he's told to report to storage to have his disk removed the next day. Next, we find a short message saying there will be a test on day 155 to control temperatures within the facility. People are warned to stay out of the cooling station. Then immediately after that, we find a recording between two personnel where one is warning the other not to go into the cooling station as he has done previously. The second man complains that he's simply trying to cool down, but he's told there will be harsh repercussions if he does it again on the upcoming test. However, it seems like this warning may not have been enough, because on a nearby computer we find out that the test was indeed disrupted by an unknown person on mission day 155.
Prepare for a wave.
We encounter one last datapad before reaching the generator, and this one has some concerning information. It's a report that if the vermin remain in the generator and have access to its electricity supply, that they will begin to multiply exponentially. This could be an existential threat to the entire planet.
That's horrible.
Warning. Extreme temperature detected.
There's no power. We've reached the generator.
Good work. Now find a way to turn it on.
It's too quiet in here.
We need to use that quiet. Let's start destroying the tumors.
Power's back on. Changing mags.
We quickly destroy the pods on the generator and it immediately comes back to life. But this raises an interesting implication. If no human was able to make it down to turn the generator off, did the vermin turn it off themselves? And if so, why? They use the electricity to reproduce, so it doesn't really make sense that they would turn it off themselves.
So there's hope.
Regardless, with this thought aside, we can go ahead and make it back up to the engine room now that the power is back on.
Of course. You're here now too.
Whether drawn by us or the power, we can't quite be sure, but now this level is also infested with vermin.
A keycard for a higher floor.
We are almost immediately ambushed by vermin again after the control room doors are open. We dispatch them quickly and pick up a keycard to yet another floor. At the moment it doesn't matter as we continue heading to the control room.
It looks quiet, but let's stay alert.
As we enter the control room, we can see it too has already been infested. We find a body at the control panel along with another audio device, and realize that the control panel is missing a vital piece to function.
It won't work without a core.
Places like this have to be self-sufficient. If we look hard enough, we're bound to find a spare core.
If I were responsible for the construction of this place, I'd keep the core on the technical level.
Everyone's still alive. I'm trying to fix the main engine. It should work. This fucking computer should be working. I did everything right. Oh, I'm sorry. This is all my fault. I damaged the core. Those monsters cut me off. If anyone with access to the technical storeroom is listening to this, we need a new core. I'm sorry. There's really nothing else I can do. I really didn't mean for this to happen. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I'll try one more time. No. It's no use. It's too late now. Again, I am so sorry.
We don't yet know who this man was, but he claims responsibility for damaging the station. We don't yet know who this man was or what he may have done to damage the station, but for now we have to head up to the technical level and try to get another core to restart the engine.
Where could this core be? Changing mags.
Peter, there's a lot of aliens here, but I'm going to get the core from the technical lab. Peter! All right, I evacuated, but I left something behind and I can't go back now. There's something wrong with the capsule.
The next body tells us that there's a core in the laboratory and that there's something wrong with the capsule. We enter the laboratory, and at this point I'm constantly looking over my shoulder for bug attacks. But it seems like they're being tactical in the sense that every time I turn back around, they attack from behind. It doesn't only happen once, but multiple times while I'm in this laboratory.
Reloading. I think I can use this. Reloading.
At this point, I'm so rattled by the vermin that they have me making obvious mistakes.
Changing mags.
The first message we find in this room has nothing to do with the quest that we're currently on. However, it does tie into another location that we'll discover later.
That's just what I need.
Hello, Dr. Kelsey? I've noticed interesting behavior among the aliens. Hello, Dr. Kelsey? I've noticed interesting behavior among the aliens. You should know about this.
What exactly?
It could help us hide from them if we ever need to. They are clearly drawn to electricity.
Fascinating news. But shouldn't you be working on
Hello, Dr. Kelsey? I've noticed interesting behavior among the aliens. You should know about this.
What exactly?
It could help us hide from them if we ever need to. They are clearly drawn to electricity.
Fascinating news. But shouldn't you be working on optimizing our energy consumption right now?
Yes, of course. I think that they feed on it somehow. And they probably use it to reproduce. That's why, during an attack, we should turn off as many power sources as we can. Maybe they will then lose interest in the base.
What attack? We have a whole defense system around us. Get back to work.
It's just that it'd be good to have a plan for a worst-case scenario.
There are plans for that, but it's not our business. Logistics takes care of such procedures. If you really want to look into this, fine. But in your free time?
Of course.
Seems like at least one of the researchers had a good intuition about what could potentially happen if the vermin were drawn to the electricity in the station. If Dr. Kelsey had listened to her more attentively, they could have prevented a disaster.
Such a small thing, and yet it holds so much power. The human mind is astounding.
It looks like you have everything you need to activate the Forgotten Engine. Proceed to the control center.
So it's almost over.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to be ready for anything.
S8466 is right. I recommend stocking up on ammunition and rations.
This is what we need to turn on the engine.
It seems as though Dr. Kelsey, the lead scientist that turned down the proposal to better defend the station from the vermin, was also trying to sell information on the side to a rival company about the electricity that could be generated from the air on this planet. Having built a new power core from items we found scattered around the ship, we began to head back up to the control room one last time. The next computer we come across reveals that by day 702 of the mission, they were already running low on food supplies. We enter Luke Acosta's office, one of the lead engineers on this mission and one that was put into a disk by Aiden Patel, and we find two interesting emails. In the first, he's begging to be on a recon mission, saying that he wishes to explore the planet of Arcadia, possibly going out with one of the security teams to see what he's missing out on. He feels cooped up aboard this vessel. However, he is sharply denied. If you remember back to an earlier conversation, Costa was put into his disk and put into storage because he had been in contact with William Clayton. In this email here in his office, we find out that he had contacted Clayton to try to sell information from this research project in return for food. He'd been trying to solve the rationing problem on his own. Clayton had accepted a portion of the data, saying he would review it, and then he never responded again. Clayton left the crew of the Forgotten Engine to starve to death, presumably planning on coming back to the planet at a later time, and harvesting its electrical bounty for himself. Finally, nearing the end of our journey, we make it back to the control room, and we put in the power core, starting the engine cycle. As the engine powers up, we are attacked multiple times by vermin across several waves. %.
All that's left to do is wait.
Warning. Alien life forms detected.
Of course.
Initialization interrupted. Entering quarantine mode.
Time to fight.
No alien life forms detected. Deactivating quarantine mode.
Even turning on a machine on this godforsaken planet can be lethal. I hope it works this time.
Resuming engine activation sequence.
It's a big machine. No wonder it's attracted so many vermin. It has to work this time.
Resuming engine activation sequence. 80%.
My heart's gonna burst out of my chest. Come on, come on.
And commencing final sequence. Warning. Alien life forms detected.
This'll never end.
No alien life forms detected. Deactivating quarantine mode.
It's getting worse.
Initialization complete. Commencing hydrogen compound release. Test complete. All systems at 24% efficiency. World engine activated.
Finally!
Atmospheric test. Concentration of hydrogen compounds increased by 4%. Background radiation in Area G4 reduced by 62%. Congratulations! You did it! You are the first people in 60 years to have been able to activate the Forgotten Engine. You should be very proud.
Well, I'll be. I think this is the first time during this whole mission that I felt happy.
Moments like these should be cherished.
While that's true, you're the last person I expected to say those words.
I'm not a robot. Emotions allowed us to win the evolutionary race, and happiness is rare. Smile. You don't do it often enough.
Definitely not often enough. Definitely not.
Okay, my dears. Time to get back to work.
Gal, did you have to?
We blast our way through several vermin swarms and finally have the engine fully powered on. And for now, that's the end of the story. Once this game releases more information and DLC, I'm sure we'll learn more about Arcadia 7. But before ending this video, I want to go over what we've learned from the information we collected along the way. And here's my interpretation of exactly what happened. The last entry we can find is from day 747, which is presumably the last day that anyone on the station was still alive. However, before the station was ever attacked by vermin, as early as day 702 they were forced to begin rationing their food, presumably having not brought along enough to complete a years-long mission, or having not found the food they thought they would on the planet's surface. After 23 days of rationing food and putting more and more people in storage inside their disks, Luke Acosta attempts to reach out to William Clayton and offers to sell him information about this project and the electricity generators in return for food for the station. William Clayton accepts this information, but in return does not deliver any supplies to the planet. After learning of this betrayal, Aiden Patel tells Luke Acosta he will be put in storage as well, and he gives him a day to report to the storage unit. At this point it's speculation, but I believe Aiden Patel didn't learn of the betrayal until about 20 days after it occurred, marking about day 745 of the mission when he officially reprimanded Luke Acosta and sent him to storage. However, instead of going to storage, Acosta decided that he was going to escape the station and finally see the surface of Arcadia, as he had been dreaming to do for so long, according to his emails. According to another datapad we'd found previously, the engine was safe from the vermin until for some reason the security was shut down and the main entrance was opened. I believe this was Luke Acosta attempting to escape, however the vermin instantly started swarming into the station, and that it was Luke Acosta's body in the seat at the control panel as he tried to correct his wrongdoing that eventually doomed all of them. This does leave some questions as to why the terraformer is not operating in the way it was intended, and the saga about the cooling station with several interruptions to its operations, but we may find more pieces to this puzzle as time continues. Anyway, thanks for watching. Comment if you think you found some other piece of information that helps build more of this picture, or if I got something wrong. And hopefully I'll see you with the next long or short video that I make. Have a good one.